That was basically is how I'm looking at it now. We had to warm up. Let's get ready for the actual thing. Alright. I'm just gonna have to retweet this. What's going on with this? Okay. I still can't figure out why I can't get this chat to work again. I really need to go back through everything. I don't know why it started acting funny, but we're about to start up the stream again. It's actually we're already live actually. Yeah. Oh. No, they can't hear us. I have us muted. Give it a second to set up everything real quick, and then we'll be golden. I am. Yeah, basically. The whole like spending all this time just talking to myself. Good gosh. Alright, so I'm about to put the link in the chat, and let's get this thing to go. New link. Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of did that last time to make sure, and everybody said that they can hear us. I mean, I see what the issue was now. I mean, I know it's definitely working now because I see now on the desktop that the voice bar thing is moving around now. Yeah. What the fuck? No, I was trying to tweet. No, I was just trying to tweet this out, and it didn't copy the link. Let me fix it real quick. All right, we're gonna try to do this fast, but not too fast. Let's try to make sure we get our points back out. Okay, this. Yep. Ah, crap. Or she can edit fucking tweets. No, that does sound good right now. Trying to get something else to eat around town. I don't feel like walking anywhere. Because once I'm done with this, I got several things I want to do. I want to finish playing Warframe 1, and I want to. No, I'll play it. No, I'll play Warframe on PlayStation and Switch. Yeah, I'm always on my Switch just because it's easy to be lazy on my Switch. I can kick back, watch TV, and play at the same time. Yeah. As always. What the heck is going on? Every time I tweet this out, I don't know. I keep trying to tweet this out and it keeps not adding links or adding an extra link, or I don't know. This is getting aggravating. Honestly, at this point, I think I'm just hungry and I don't want to be bothered at the moment. All right. Yeah. All right. So you guys ready? All right. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Okay. So let's cut into it. All right, we're going live. Okay, and we're live. What's up, guys? It's Legend X Ronin, and we had a few technical difficulties the last stream of this, but everything is fixed now. We're back to it. But we're going to be talking about these 5 characters and whether or not they will be returning in Mortal Kombat 11. And as for today's guests, we first have Nickfamous.
Yo, and hopefully you can hear me this time.
Next, we have Survival Kombatant.
Reporting for duty, sir.
And last but not least, we have MadDoggGames.
Hey, what's up? Finally, this time you won't forget about me.
Alright, so first we're going to start the stream off with talking about Sonya and whether or not she will be returning in Mortal Kombat 11. Alright, we're going to start with Nickfamous.
All right. So, I mean, when Mortal Kombat 11 was first announced, my initial thought was, no, we're not going to get Sonya again. Like, we just had her in Mortal Kombat X. We just had her in Mortal Kombat 9. And yes, she is one of those iconic characters. Of course, she's going to be in a lot of the games. But with Cassie Cage and all these new characters that they added into Mortal Kombat X, they kind of just seemed like they were going for a pass the torch sort of deal. So I assumed that Johnny and Cassie would both not, or sorry, Johnny and Sonya would both not be in the new game because of Cassie. However, there was a leak that came out recently saying Ronda Rousey from the UFC is supposed to be the voice actor for Sonya. So it kind of looks like she's going to be in the game.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think, Survive? Whoever. I was about to say I'm kind of going off of like the list on the screen, so I'm just going down from there and then start with someone new each time.
Okay.
Yeah, see with Sonya, like, I do not hate the character, just saying the mere fact that her and Cassie share like the same moveset, like I said before, Cassie's I believe it's Spec Ops or whatever. That variation where she has the drone is very, very, very similar to Sonya's movesets or whatever she has to offer. So I do not feel like it's right to have, both Sonya and Cassie if they're just going to do the same moves again. And not only that, that's 2 Special Forces characters when you can take out Sonya just for another character. Now, they could take out Cassie, but, why would you take out a new character when, you just introduced them and made them the biggest thing since, like, sliced bread?
Yeah,
so
not just a new character, the character that was, like, the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poster girl.
Yeah, so, like, I with Ronda Rousey being there, I do not feel like, I feel like I'm going to hear Ronda Rousey. Now, I do know she's in the WWE. I haven't watched the WWE in years. It's ever since they took off beer language and all that shit, I stopped watching it. And so, like, all I'm going to hear is just Ronda Rousey. I'm not going to hear Sonya or anything. And it's like, yeah, she might be a part of the story, but, if you're going to have a famous character on there, you're going to make her playable. Like,
yeah, that's true. That would be a pretty penny just to have her as a story cameo.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do not want her in just for the mere fact that Cassie is most likely going to be in. It's very, very, how do I say? when you do some, like when you have two of the same things. I forget what the word for that is.
Duplicate?
But yeah, that's
Duplicate.
yeah. It feels very duplicaty,
It's redundant.
Yeah, redundant. That's the one. It's kind of redundant to have both Cassie and Sonya in, and it's kind of shitty if you just throw Cassie to the fucking side and just say, "Oh well, we're gonna Ronda Rousey's Sonya though," but it's Ronda Rousey's Sonya though. It's like look at this, and it's like no, but I kind of like Cassie though. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah. My thoughts. I feel like she would be in the story but not playable because I first thought that she was not going to be in the game, but because now Ronda Rousey, if that is true, going to be like voicing her and stuff like that, they're going to have to be putting her in the story at some point. But look, because we have Cassie, we have Johnny, and we have Sonya. We all know that we can't include all three of them anymore. We just did in Mortal Kombat X, and I feel like having those three again would be kind of a waste in the roster. We could have someone more fresh and new. So I feel like Sonya is going to be in the story but not playable because Johnny and then Cassie's already in the game, and you already know how all the gameplay styles kind of similar. So those are just my thoughts.
Yeah.
Also, Sonya has been in. I think when we did the live stream before, 7 games, including MK versus DC, which Johnny wasn't even a part of. So
yeah.
But yeah, the Sonya fans have definitely had their
But to be fair, I remember Legend said in the last stream too that like she is like the most iconic Mortal Kombat female since she was the first and only in the first game. So that is kind of to be expected. But I hear you on the same time.
And like,
I'm kind of sick of her.
When it comes to some other fighting games, though, that they're not like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, they will take out some iconic characters, not ones that are not as iconic as others, like Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden. But they will take out some. But when it comes to other fighting games, that's not a big thing for them. To them, it's kind of like a recipe into like making their games. Like you gotta have these characters. So I mean, it can happen with Mortal Kombat where they don't bring back one. But I mean, you gotta think Sonya is pretty iconic. So. But as far as my thoughts, I mean, I agree with you. And all y'all actually, just like I thought she wasn't going to be in the game, and I was kind of hoping she wouldn't be because it just seems too redundant to have her, Johnny, and Cassie all in the same game again. So I was really hoping for her not to be in the game, but there's this whole Ronda Rousey thing, and I'm not going to say it's true until it's actually confirmed. So I don't want to say it's true, but if it is true, then definitely she's probably going to be playable and in the story because you're not going to have someone as big as Ronda Rousey voice a character and them not do anything in the game.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Yeah,
that's like half the game's budget right there.
Yeah, so so like if the Ronda Rousey thing is like true, then yeah, of course she's probably going to be in the game, but I think she should sit out. I do. Like, I love Sonya. She's an iconic character and all, but, I mean, that's the thing with her and Johnny having a kid. It's time to kind of pass the torch. Like, they're... Yeah.
And I also think with this Ronda Rousey thing, if it ends up being true, I think... I can't speak for everybody, but it'll kind of ruin the immersion of Sonya at all for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, like Survive said, I'm just going to connect her automatically with Ronda, not as much Sonya, so... Yeah, I just kind of hope they just that part's not true, and they just say, no, Sonya, bye bye.
One question: Do you think that they'll kill off Sonya?
No.
Oh, no way.
No. No way.
Just saying.
I don't know, man. They
get that green energy back.
I don't know though, man. They
killed Melina, man. They'll kill legacy characters like that. Just
I mean,
spoiler alert.
I don't know. Just Melina's a bit different though in that situation. I just can't see them killing off Sonya. Now there is somebody else. Well, we'll get to that later. But nah.
Yeah.
Someone else in the Special Forces.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But
wink.
Yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next character, who is Kenshi, and we're gonna start with you, Survive.
Kenshi is a character that, I've sort of been playing on and off ever since Deadly Alliance. When I had Trilogy, I basically played through all the characters, found out that both Sub and Scorpion, but Scorpion mostly, was my main. When I got Deadly Alliance for the PlayStation 2, I picked Kenshi because he looked cool. He had telekinetic powers, and it was really, really awesome to play as a blind freaking swordsman. I mean, come on, that's fucking awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, he's been one of the most unique characters in Mortal Kombat. No other character had his powers other than, I would say, Ermac, but that still, it's when when he was introduced in Mortal Kombat 9, I didn't actually get to play him until I got Mortal Kombat 9 for the Vita. Hey, goddamn, he's amazing to play as, but his fatalities are the best in the entire game, other than the Make a Wish fatality. But no, with Mortal Kombat X, I actually mained him a little bit. I think it was his balanced variation, whatever the middle variation is. So, in concept, he is a cool character, and I feel like he's way different from Takeda. So the whole Cassie Sonya thing does not apply to Takeda and Kenshi. But there's just a lot of stuff that you can do with him, which I believe it was Legend that explained what you could do with him in story wise.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's it.
That him and Takeda haven't even got to settle the whole debt with the Red Dragon Clan, so there's still stuff that they can play on with Kenshi at the story. I feel like his story isn't fully told just yet, so I definitely see him returning. And I'd like to see how far they can take him, because I think we can all agree that he is probably the best or most well developed or worked on 3D era character. So definitely want to see more. Definitely want to see more from Kenshi.
Also, another thing, one of the characters that are in this podcast will actually go into a theory that I have with connecting to Takeda, Kenshi, and the Red Dragon. Just a little tease.
By the way, just not to cut anyone off, but they're saying in the chat, Legend, that your audio is a bit lower than ours.
Yeah, that's why I kind of been trying to get up a little bit closer. I've been reading it.
Okay, perfect. Just making sure.
It's still low, but we should be good. But well, what are your thoughts, Matt?
I definitely agree to everything you guys have been saying. His story hasn't really been, completely told yet, and yet I played him. He was my first main character at when I played Deadly Alliance for the first time. So yeah, he is a blind swordsman, definitely cool. I think everybody loves that fact.
Yep.
And his gameplay style is very, very different, I would say, than compared to any other game. The way he uses telekinesis powers, to make some clones and do all that stuff is really good. So I definitely think that he's going to be included in Mortal Kombat 11 because of the fact that he has a very different style than everybody in the game. So, and I know how Mortal Kombat loves to have unique styles for every character. So I think he's going to be included.
And what about you, Nick?
Yeah, so I agree pretty well with everything you guys said. He's badass. We all love him. He's not similar to Takeda, so there's no issue with the both of them returning. Although if the only way I could argue with Kenshi returning is we all love Kenshi, right? He is one of the only established 3D era characters that is really, really, fleshed out, and he's in depth. Now, I think the only reason that they could leave him out is to make room for another 3D era character such as Fujin, who deserves to be fleshed out more as well, so that we can love characters like
Fujin.
that. Yeah, true.
But I mean, I agree with you on that. while I would like to have Kenshi, it's just with this roster, I feel like this roster has so much potential this time around. So I want to see more 3D era characters get fleshed out, especially since this whole timeline reboot. I feel like they did pretty well with the 3D era characters that they've added so far. So I would like to see what more they could do, because there's tons of characters I'd like to see them kind of rework, you know, for all
Exactly.
CMAs. So hopefully if they did sit Kenshi out, that would be like, if that's the reason, then, you know,
Yeah,
right.
that's the only reason I would be okay with, because other than that, like you said, Kenshi's story isn't fully done with the Red Dragon, so I can see him returning, but it would be nice to leave room for other characters.
Yeah, definitely agree. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next character, which is Johnny Cage, and we're gonna start with you, Mad Dog.
Hell yeah, they're gonna put him there. They're gonna have to put him there. I mean, Johnny Cage, like, again, it kind of goes back where Sonya, Cassie, and Johnny, those three people kind of plays kind of like similar, or at least they're trying to put those, like, Cassie, or trying to put Johnny and Sonya's move into Cassie. But if you compare to, like, Sonya and Cassie, I mean, not Sonya, why am I saying Cassie? If you put Johnny and Sonya, I would think that Johnny Cage would have to be the most likely character to be put into Mortal Kombat 11, because he's more iconic. His move style with his green aura, he could probably teach Cassie more about that, and you know, continue that for what, like, the story of improving. He's also leading the special forces, right? The youngsters. So I feel like he also needs to continue helping them out, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point. I actually didn't think about that, because he leads their team, so it would be kind of necessary to have him return in a way.
He's a big part of the story.
But I mean, I agree with you. I mean, if you had to choose like one of the characters of those three who not to be in, I would just probably say Sonya. So I mean, I think Johnny definitely, you know, he has the fan base. The guy was really funny. Mortal Kombat X kind of like reworked him and kind of just made him an even better character than what he actually was. I mean, he was funnier. He played such a huge role. He was like the champion of Earthrealm. Like they really worked on Johnny well. And like some people can argue that, you know, his story was kind of told, but like you said, I mean, he leads their team, and you know, he just have like a very big fan base. So I can see Johnny returning. I mean, there is the argument with also him and Cassie being a bit similar, just like, you know, Sonya and Cassie. But I feel like maybe they could possibly differentiate kind of how they play, and maybe they can kind of like create something cool, do something different with Cassie to make her not too similar to Johnny with her green aura. But what do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, again, Johnny was another one of those characters that I thought would kind of be cutscene only, mainly because, like you guys said, he does play a pretty vital role in the story. But yeah, he is a fan favorite. He's been around since MK1. I just think he is kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to say that he would be necessary, but Sonya wouldn't. But I think, like you guys explained, since we have Cassie, it's almost redundant to have all three. So we're going to have to start cutting it down eventually. So I don't know if the developers will necessarily cut both of them out. But yeah, if they were going to cut one of them, I would definitely pick Sonya. And also, Johnny's quips are just too good to be left out with the new intro, like the intros that they put in.
Oh yeah, like I can only imagine what kind of stuff they would give him for Mortal Kombat 11. Like,
yeah, and I mean, I know they were trying to make Cassie funny too, but
come on, you can't replace Johnny's quips, man.
Oh, no. But what do you think, Survive?
And you love it. I was referencing the Sonya intro. God, I love that intro. See, with Johnny, you have to think like, yeah, he does have a more like vital role with the story than Sonya. If you think it like this, after the, you know, basically the special forces beat Shinnok, you would think that maybe she could, you know, say get a raise, you know, get some of higher power, you know, cause her or making her, you know, not able to fight within the war.
Yeah.
But like you guys said, Johnny is still the leader of the the Kombat kids. So it's like I can see him coming back and not Sonya just on a story basis.
Mm-hmm.
But with it's like, you know, Cassie and Johnny are just like, you know, Takeda and Kenshi. Yeah, they might have some similar moves. Like, yeah, Takeda definitely has some moves that are, you know, similar to Kenshi. But with Cassie, I mean, I don't think is there, I haven't played her that much. Is there a variation where she has the green energy or whatever?
There's like a particular variation that's
Not really. She
surrounded
only has
around
like
it.
around
Is this
one or
Okay.
two moves that has the green aura.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Okay,
has it in
yeah.
certain moves and combos and stuff.
Yeah, see there's enough difference between Johnny and Cassie to have them both in than to have all three of them in. If it was up to me to either have like Johnny and Cassie or Sonya and Cassie, I'd pick Johnny because one, Johnny is definitely a fan favorite, and I feel like he's going to be DLC for Injustice 3. Just saying. And
Don't even talk about that yet. You're getting too ahead of yourself.
A couple years
You haven't
early.
even seen this game yet. Come
Besides,
on.
Liu Kang is
just
definitely
saying,
the next one, but okay.
But you know, Johnny has a huge fan base. He's one of the only characters, and I'm not including Bo Raicho. He just makes fucking fart jokes. But he's like one of the only characters that is like a real smart ass, you know, with the leather faced one, he was like, "What's that on your face?" Oh, like, dude, that's hilarious. And then with the alien, he was like, "Your head kind of looks like a dildo." Like that's Johnny. Like, you can't really replace that. It's
Johnny is the class clown of Mortal Kombat. You can't get
yes,
rid
he
of him.
literally is. Like, so I do want him to be back in the game for the mere fact that like he has a story purpose, you know, and I feel like the connection to Johnny and Cassie are way, way closer than Cassie and Sonya. So, like I said, if it was up to me, I would have only Johnny and Cassie be in the game. You know, we don't need Sonya. You can give a lot of Sonya's moves to Cassie because she would, by that point, know green energy and know how to do like Sonya's moves.
Yeah.
You know, like the cartwheel kick and all that shit. So that's just my opinion on the matter.
Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the fourth character on this list, which is Jax, and we're gonna start off with Nick.
All right. So yeah, Jax. I haven't really thought a whole lot about Jax because Jax was one of those characters I didn't really like until Mortal Kombat X. I think it was that game that sort of fleshed out a lot of the characters, even like the classics. It gave them a bit more personality because not only did we have story mode, but we had intros and stuff. So I like Jax a lot more after Mortal Kombat X, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels that way.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, since they kind of improved him a bit, and I thought he could really work well with the variation system too, with the metal arms, I could see him returning, but at the same time, they are that is another similar thing, right, with Jackie. So how we were talking this whole live stream about how Johnny and Sonya are similar to Cassie, it's kind of the same argument with Jackie being similar to Jax.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the gauntlets, you know, she's got a machine gun, she's got rockets, she's in the special forces. I mean, other than really having real human arms, she's pretty much a female Jax. So it could be argued again that the torch will be passed there. However, I don't really know. Jax is kind of I don't know, he could appear, maybe not. I don't really know.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with you previously with like Jax and Mortal Kombat X. I mean, I was Jax in previous games, but I think most of us can agree that Mortal Kombat X Jax is the best that Jax has ever been. Like,
yes.
Like they fleshed him out. They gave him like a really good moveset with the variations. Like Jax was a lot of fun in Mortal Kombat X. And
Yeah, he was established well.
yeah, and going back to what History Behind the Warrior said in the last stream, though, like he said, there's a possibility that maybe Jax might die, and I can kind of see that because at this point, at this point, I feel like Jax isn't needed much anymore. I mean, he already quit the Special Forces. They brought him back in Mortal Kombat X just because get his intelligence since he worked with Quan Chi and of course Jackie. So I mean, they don't necessarily need him anymore, and I feel like not having him would kind of help flesh out Jackie a bit more, like how like how you said, and like what we're talking about, pass on the torch. I mean, they are similar, but if you were to take Jax out, you can flesh Jackie out a bit more.
Exactly. And like one thing I noticed Mortal Kombat really hasn't done was Mortal Kombat X had no problem. Spoiler alert, just saying. If you haven't played Mortal Kombat X yet, come on.
Away, mute the stream, do something.
But Melina and Baraka were both killed, no problem. And they were both classic characters, right?
Yeah.
So I can see them maybe doing something with this old age factor, right? Since Johnny, Sonya, Jax, and all those characters, they're getting older. Maybe we'll actually see sort of like an old age thing. I know that would be kind of anticlimactic speaking for Mortal Kombat, but it is a possibility, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, that is definitely true. But then, unfortunately, we have to bring back and think about the time bending thing, which, opens up infinite possibilities. But even with that being said, I think still, like, some of this stuff still stands. Like, they're getting old. While you can have them in the story, like, pull like a Joker. Joker was not necessary to the Injustice 2 story, but, they kind of just threw him in there. Maybe, like, time bending, throw in the old school Sonya, old school Jax, old school Johnny.
Exactly.
For a little bit. But for the most part, I would prefer cameos, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, of course, not where we have to fight them, but just.
No. Don't
want to repeat a Mortal Kombat X.
No.
But what do you think, Matt?
Kind of agree with everything you guys have been saying. So there's two ways I can see it happening. Is one, they could probably kill him off, give pass the torch to Jackie, maybe give her a purpose to seek, I don't know, vengeance or I don't know, something like that, or just because I think he retired, right? But they brought him back, so he can probably just retire again and just give Jackie the torch. So I see those two possibilities: him living and then retiring again, because I think he has nothing to offer to the story anymore. I don't think so. If I'm wrong, I don't remember what happened.
Yeah, like he just came in, helped out, captured Quan Chi, and went back into retirement pretty much.
Yeah. So, those are only the two things I could see happening. They could also do it that way where you said they could probably just kind of like to pull out the Joker thing where he can just be playable but had nothing to do with the story. So there's that. But
which I really hope they don't do.
Yeah, because Jackie needs to actually be part of this the new generation now. Kind of like Kung Jin. I just almost forgot about him too again.
Oh, wow.
No, I can agree that Kung Jin is probably the most forgettable new character. Well, no, I'll take that back. Ferritor. Of the good guys between like the little 4 Special Forces kid, I'll probably say Kung Jin is the most forgettable. But
I would argue Jackie, but I see where you're coming from.
Oh no!
Second to last.
I definitely have a theory
for spamming. So Jackie is talked about as the worst. That puts her above Kung Jin just a little bit.
True.
Yeah. So. Yep, that's right.
Survive. What do you think?
They could do a definite big story with them. In my opinion, I think they're only going to have 2 combat kids. I think it's just going to be Cassie and Takeda.
That's a bold move. Okay.
But I feel, okay, here's my reasoning why too. I feel like they're going to cast Kung Jin aside to do basically his ending. Help out Kung Lao go from Revenant to back to his human state. Stuff like that.
So basically Kung Lao or Kung Jin?
Yes.
Screw them both.
You already have a Shaolin, which is Liu Kang. He's of course going to be in the game. That's kind of a given.
Yeah.
But so like my theory on how they could sit Jackie out. I have a theory going on in my head about how Jackie will actually die in Mortal Kombat 11. Okay, here's my reasoning. Because Takeda and Kenshi are, going after the Red Dragon, they've already killed Suchin, which is Takeda's mother. So they're definitely known for taking out people. Takeda can do something to result in Jackie dying. They could find out if she is, she's lovers with Takeda, which would also kick back Jax. He's warned her for, years. Don't go to the special forces. You're going to end up dead. Don't do the same things I did or you'll end up dead. So, also the guilt, that Jax will feel for not stopping his daughter and stuff. I feel like it definitely would make his character more human if he was able to, hold that guilt of Jackie, and like I said, since there's time bending, you can always bring her back. But that initial thought of, bam, Jackie's dead. And I told her about this, but I let it happen. I feel like that would make Jax way better. And it would take out Jackie out of the game, of course, because,
Yeah.
But overall, if they were to put Jax back in the game, I feel like that would be the perfect scenario.
Well, I mean, I don't, I don't agree because I just can't see them just really killing off Jackie. But I don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people don't like her, but I see her more sitting out than getting killed. But
I like her. It's just that just to flesh out Jax a little bit more, and then after that, pass the torch on to Jackie in Mortal Kombat 12.
What I'm trying to say, why not do that in 11? Jax is old. He's already retired.
Jax has been. He had like Legend said, Jax is the best he's been. So they should just kind of quit while they're ahead.
Yeah.
And make Jackie good, because nobody really not a whole lot of people like Jackie. I shouldn't say nobody. But not a whole lot of people like her, so maybe change that.
Is this full auto? I did not.
I have a little bias to killing. Yeah, I have a little bias because of fucking spammers.
But, I mean,
that's why I picked Scorpion.
I won't say that there's no possibility of that happening. It's just that I can't say I agree with it, but who knows? Anything can happen, especially with the whole time bending thing. They can
anything's possible
do
with
something
time travel
and then take it back. So. But let's go ahead and get started on the last character for this discussion, which is Kano. And I'm gonna kick this one off and just say that I don't think that Kano will return. And Kano is also, I can also say the same thing about Kano that we said about Jax. I think that Mortal Kombat X Kano was the best that Kano ever was. Kano,
yeah, definitely.
Kano was really
still
great.
alive, right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Kano is still he was a really good character in Mortal Kombat X. He did he had really good variations, but in the story he got captured, this and that. So I think it's time for him to sit out. Now I know there's the whole discussion of whether or not his son will be in Mortal Kombat 11 or playable. Not all endings are
Check
canon.
out my channel for that.
Not all endings are canon, though some of them do tend to kind of play out. We're working on a new generation type thing, so I won't rule it out, but at the same time, I'm just the kid thing is getting kind of worn out. So.
Well, and it's Kano, kids can inherit cybernetic eyes, so really,
I mean that at the very least, though, with that though, you can at least say that you can flesh him out and not be the same as Kano.
Yes,
so you could bring Kano back if you need to, because they're not similar. They could be like
Kenshi and Takeda.
Exactly. So,
okay.
I mean, there is that. But as far as Kano goes, I think that he's going to finally sit this one out. And honestly, I don't really just think that the Black Dragon at all is really going to have much of a presence in Mortal Kombat 11. But, that's a whole separate thing. But that's pretty much my verdict on it. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. The Black Dragons played their card in Mortal Kombat 9, right? They were kind of important there, and they kind of had a bigger role in the comics, if anybody read those. And I don't know, Red Dragon is basically unheard of other than the comics. So I think they could possibly do something in the story, you know what I mean, where Red Dragon, kills off the Black Dragon or something like that. Even I don't know.
Well, that one I feel is a bit, because like at this point, like if you base off the comics and everything that's going on with the Red Dragon, the only remaining Red Dragon member is Dagon. Like everybody else got killed off. So
yeah, but I mean that's what I mean. I feel like the comics kind of screw up the lore of Mortal Kombat, especially since they weren't like they left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah,
because I feel like if we got more of that Red Dragon story, like my statements could be backed up better. But yeah, I don't know what his fate will be. He is kind of that like classic, iconic bad guy jobber, you know what I mean? So they already got rid of Baraka. If they get rid of him, they're not going to have too many left.
Well, I mean,
but
Reptile.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna kill Kano, but maybe just like sit him out for a moment.
Yeah,
like, just for Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, I don't know what they'll do with Kano. I mean, I hope he returns because he does have a pretty unique moveset, and there's no like. You know, he doesn't have a son yet, as far as we know. So there's no worry there. But I can kind of see where you're coming from. I just see them kind of almost ignoring him, like not really worrying about him, kind of like almost jading him, you know? Like, sorry to say, but kind of like, yeah, we don't really care about him. We'll just talk about him later.
Yeah, poor Jade. She'll be in more Kombat though.
Facts, big facts.
But what do you think, Matt?
I definitely agree with him. With you guys. Saying that they're probably gonna jade him, you know, set him aside and stuff like that. But I do have a question. I kind of forgot with the story. So what actually happened with Kano?
Well,
in the story, how did it end?
Well, the way it ended, Sonya beat him down and captured him. So he's in jail.
So he's captured. So he's in jail. Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like what's gonna happen to Sonya if we were to pick one of the, you know, out of Johnny Cage and Cassie, if they were not to include them, is Sonya also not gonna be included with, you know, Kano, because their story is kind of already set. I feel
that's so true.
Yeah,
I feel like
said and done now.
Yeah, their rivalry is done. So if he's gone, there's no purpose for Sonya, you know.
Yeah, that's so true.
It gives her less purpose.
Yeah, definitely, because her story was pretty much just trying to catch her, just trying to catch him in Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X. So
and now she did that. So
now it's gone. So yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I did not think about that either until you just said it. So I was like, you know, that does give Sonya a little bit less of a reason to be in.
Yeah. So those are just my thoughts. They're not going to include either of them.
Alrighty. Survive. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wholeheartedly agree that they're not gonna bring him in. I'm gonna plug in my SoundCloud real quick. You know, I made a video about, you know, Kano's son having, you know, is probably going to be in the game, but overall it's like, you know, like you guys said, the like, you know, people will say, oh well, the Sub-Zero Scorpion, you know, feud is done. Well, yeah, but they could always work together. Like they didn't end off at like a bad note. They left off on a really, really good note. So like, you know, with Sonya and Kano, it's like, yeah, their story's kind of done. With Kano, he's just a jobber. That's kind of why I don't want Reptile in there, because I like Reptile. I really like Reptile. But don't add these characters in if all you're just going to do is just make them way, way worse.
Well,
you can only beat someone up so much.
In defense, there always has to be jobbers. Like, if you ever think about it, like, even with Mortal Kombat X, like, it wasn't just Reptile. Like Ermac, though Ermac was doing some cool stuff, he still got his butt kicked. Though Deborah killed like 2 classics, she still got her butt kicked. So I mean, like, somebody got to get beat up in a story. Like, you can't just have the story and people not get beat up. And I get like the little bit of the difference, because like Reptile is just Class A jobber, but it's just like, I mean, there gotta be some jobbers. I mean, heck, they added Aaron Black pretty much just to be a jobber.
And Ferrator.
Ferrator.
They didn't do anything.
They did not do anything.
Yeah.
They just like ran around Outworld and scared a bunch of people, and then they got beat up. And it was like, okay. But yeah, with Kano, it's like, yeah, that's cool and all. Like, if he is in, I won't be disappointed. He has like a very, very like different play style from everything. You know, he's more brutal. He uses his butterfly knives. But in gameplay wise, it's like, you know,
his fatalities are at most. Like
Yeah.
the first one's pretty good, but the second one where he just throws the knife, it's like But story wise, yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
Like there's no coming back. It's
Well, I mean, like, you can always escape. I mean, like, what is it that you could do? Like, I mean, lead the Black Dragon into something better, maybe. But at this point, I mean, let's see. We have Kano. We have, well, Cobra is supposedly dead. There's Kira. Who else? Tremor, which, if any of the intros end up turning true, I mean, Tremor says he's leaving the Black Dragon, and then, you know, he could play on that Dream Realm thing a little bit more.
No face, but those.
Oh yeah, which I don't know. Special Forces. Well, no, yeah, Special Forces is canon because they've talked a bit about Jax and Tremor. So
yeah, I don't know if they'd ever bother, but they're there.
Yeah,
you know
there.
what I mean? Like,
So like, if you ever wanted to,
they're an option.
I mean, like, there's not really much going on with the Black Dragon clan. Like, they're pretty much kind of just
it's a stretch. It's a stretch.
So
I feel like they should expand on other Black Dragon characters, like, you know, Kira. She basically has the same movesets as Kano, you know, just toss him aside, probably make her like a new generation character.
Okay, but see, that's what I'm getting at though. Like, is what is it that the Black Dragon's trying to do? Like, what is their goal? Because previously it was working for Shao Kahn and them, like Outworld, you know, giving them like weapons and things like that. And then it became more of a Red Dragon, Black Dragon kind of rivalry. And like, now that all that's done with Outworld for the most part, like, we got new stuff going on there. And then now the Red Dragon, all that's left is Dagon. So what is there for the Black Dragon that's left?
Yeah, true. Because they can't fund anybody with all this, with all that. And yeah, I'd be all right with that if they just retired the Black Dragon characters but if they were to have like one of those Black Dragon characters, I'd rather have somebody else other than freaking Kano.
Oh no, I agree with you wholeheartedly on that one. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing like Jarrett, Tremor, of course, and
Tremor's very,
Kira.
very, very underrated.
Kira and Cobra, yeah, he's underrated. Like, I wish he had more story because honestly, the comics made Tremor seem so cool. like Tremor is underrated.
Tremor the man.
But yeah, about the Kano's son. After I got done making that video, I started thinking for a couple months. I'm like, yeah, that would be cool, but you know, is he gonna be like Cassie or is he gonna be like Jackie? Like,
yeah. I mean, like, we won't have to worry about the whole him being like Kano thing unless somehow he gets a cybernetic eye, which I just feel like would be forcing things at that point.
Oh,
but, yeah,
no,
that would be forcing it way too
I've
much.
learned the art of my father's ball roll technique.
like,
okay, there, like, okay. You know.
But yeah, like, at that point, I just feel like, you know, the Black Dragon, the most that they could possibly do, is maybe if they did have a son or maybe another member, try to reform the Black Dragon, give them new meaning, give them something else to do, not that their leader is in jail. Like, oh, I'm taking over the Black Dragon, we're going to do this now, like that kind of thing. But
yeah, like
that would be very interesting.
Yeah, but I just don't know where they could go even with that though. Like, who are you going to work for? I mean, like, I have no idea. But
yeah, you kind of broke ties with Kodal and shit.
Exactly.
With the thing that you've done, and with the Special Forces, it's like, yeah. So like, yeah, I definitely do get that. Like, who are you gonna help
like,
out?
who are you selling?
You kind of screwed everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah, you kind of screwed everybody else. So it's like,
But I think that's gonna be pretty much it for Kano, and pretty much that for this discussion. I mean, for now, we're gonna take the time to answer any questions about these 5 characters that you guys have. If any of you are on Discord, you know, let you hop in real quick, or if you have any questions, we'll take questions from the chat. And while we kind of like wait for some stuff to roll in, though, I want to ask you guys, going back to Kenshi, as you can see in the background, Elder God Kenshi skin. Like, do you guys think that will be in Mortal Kombat 11 as a skin? Because I definitely think that they might do it.
How
that would be so cool.
Yeah.
How I had skins playing out is like kind of like a Killer Instinct kind of thing, where It's like legendary gear where you have like a full set, but you can change them and shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, they could definitely do that with Elder God Kenshi.
Yeah.
Customize. Yeah, we have the
customize
feature,
it.
so I think we should be able to.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool for sure. And I mean, if they brought back mobile skins, which God forbid they do not, that could be one that they would use, I'm sure, to entice people to get the mobile game. Like, oh yeah, you remember that cool Elder God Kenshi skin from the last one? Well, now you can get it in the real game. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
But,
there
I
was
mean,
a lot
I
of
can
skins that
definitely
I
see them doing
liked.
that.
Yeah.
They had a lot of skins in Mortal Kombat X Mobile that I just feel like should have been in the game in general.
Right.
Day of the Dead Katana. Day of the Dead Katana is
thinking
probably
about
my
that one.
favorite.
They
Yeah,
had
that's
fully
probably-
fleshed characters in the mobile game, and it was like, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In Injustice Multiverse, they had some events where you were able to skins or at least some special gear pieces, right? So I feel like they might do also in this game, in this new one, multi realms, where you can able to unlock some special gear pieces
Yeah.
for your character.
I was gonna
Okay,
say
yeah.
that maybe it just all depends on how this whole Mortal Kombat gear system is gonna be. Which, of course, I've spoken that I really just hope that it's not like
Stats.
like take stats
Stat
out.
base.
Like if you're gonna
Yeah.
have gear, I
it's-
prefer skins over gear, but just don't have stats. Don't level up. I just want the gear. That's all I want.
Yeah. Make it
I could see the level up coming back for like using pieces of gear,
Well, okay,
but
Jinx.
no stats.
well, that does make sense though. I guess just to like use some pieces of gear, but I just like everything being free. Like the whole level up system, the stats, it ruined Injustice 2 for a
It
while.
did.
after.
Oh no,
Level
stats
up
definitely
system too?
did.
Especially when they raised like the level cap. After I spent so hard getting these characters to level 20,
Right.
and they wait until like the very end of the game to raise the level cap to 30, and it was so hard just to get them to 30. I was like, I'm done. Like I can't do
You
this.
think they're gonna do that in Mortal Kombat 11?
That's what I'm saying. I hope
Levels?
they don't.
Like not the gear pieces, not what I mean with the little percentages and stuff
Yep.
that has stats on it. But you think they're gonna bring the level 1, level 2? Level
Oh,
three?
I hope not, because like my thing
Yeah,
is
no.
like, what would be the point of it? There's no stats.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Okay.
Here's the thing with me and the gear system. I hate stats. I'm okay with unlocking stuff loot box wise because the Tekken's like that.
Yeah.
Where you unlock certain things with Tekken characters, like say if you get like a red aura or a purple aura or maybe a hat, maybe glasses, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that because it's in both Injustice 2 but I do not want inventory management. I do not want stats, and I do not want like just shitty looking gear because goddamn, Cheetah has some Cheetah. Who is it? Captain Cold and Gorilla Grodd. They had some really shitty looking gear. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't
There's
know.
one thing that concerns me with the so y'all know how already the how would you say the kind of loadouts, right? The in-game loadouts for your character. We have Raiden, we have Shao Kahn, and we have Scorpion, right?
Yeah.
You notice they all have weapons.
Yeah.
And-
The
Yeah.
weapons might return for that reason.
That's what kind of concerns me. If everything every character must have a weapon, is that what's gonna happen?
See, I'm
I feel like
I-
they'll narrow down a lot of
Because-
characters though.
Because I don't
Yeah.
want this to be another weapon fighting game. That also like
Soul
I hope you have
Calibur.
that option. Yeah, like Soul Calibur. I hope you can also take off that option. Maybe
I think they'll do it like a lot differently than Soul Calibur or the old games did. I did a video talking about it. I don't know for sure if they would bring it back, but I think if they did, it would be very like improved. It wouldn't be anything
Yeah.
like the old one. Because like
Okay,
you
so
said,
think
the
like
old
some
one,
few moves, a few attacks are gonna have some weapons, not all of it.
like
because-
I suggested that maybe they could do a variation.
That's
if they bring
what I was
variations
gonna
back.
say. Well,
Yeah.
they're doing custom variations, and I feel like what they're gonna do is
custom variation.
Yeah, that's what the thing is going to be for Mortal Kombat 11.
Yeah, that's what they
I
said
think
already.
what they're going to do is not every character is going to have like a weapon, but you can give them a weapon through the gear system that they have, and then it's going to be implemented into combos and stuff. I don't think it's going to be like, okay, we got to force a weapon on every character like they did previously, because some of it just didn't even make sense. And
so is it not going to be variations anymore? Because you're going to have to pick which special move you get to have?
We're going to have to find out Thursday. All they said so far is that there's a custom variation system, and I'm just like, please don't mess this up.
Yeah.
There's a comment up here that I saw earlier, and it says, what do you guys think about the Mortal Kombat 11 new combo system? Like, it was apparently leaked, and it was something in the style of Street Fighter, from what I remembered.
No.
And I was like, no,
so like
I do not want
thing?
that. No. The combo system. It's like how, in Street Fighter 5. I do not want that.
No.
Limited.
No. That's
Dude,
why I like
love the
NetherRealm
jungle
Studios fighting
mechanics.
games. I can't.
That's a fake leak.
I can't
That's a
learn
fake
Street
leak.
Fighter. Like I've tried. I just can't get with it. I cannot.
Yeah.
There's no way because
where is
like,
this leak?
Ed
So
Boon
it's
has
not
stressed.
like an input system anymore. It's gonna be like a.
Oh,
quick
this is just
response.
supposedly. Like I wouldn't believe it because really, I mean, Ed Boon
I'm
has
trying to
stressed.
find it.
He's stressed before that the block button, like they'll never get rid of the block button. He's pretty much said that. So that right there. That right there is different than every other fighting game. So if they were going to keep the block button but change everything else, it'd be kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I like Mortal Kombat X's combo system because it's more aggressive.
It is.
It's like
deeper. I like it.
Just take
For
out,
me,
take out
that's
all the
Mortal
50
Kombat.
50s, though. Just take out all the 50
Yeah.
50s, but
I
do
love the
aggressive.
50-50s.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love 50 50s too.
The vertexes, though, hell no.
Yeah.
Those they need to try to get rid of because those are like you have to make one decision. Actually, there is no decision because it's already covered by overhead and lows, so you can't really react to that. So I would agree to take out vortexes, or I don't know how do you pronounce it. Vortex, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, that. But 50-50s, I love it because it gives you a way to how would you call it, break your opponent's guard. Yeah. Because otherwise, if it's not, then you're gonna have people just holding the block button.
Well, I'm not saying
not be punished.
I'm not saying take out 50-50s. I'm saying not as many 50-50s. Because like the way like it was like you that was every character you had to worry about that.
Well, that's good. That's good because like I know there were some characters like a few small percentage that didn't have 50-50, and it made it so hard for them to even fight other characters that did have 50-50. So I feel like a character should have at least one or two, but not like just say 4 or 5 50-50 moves, you know?
By the way, who said that? I let's see, who said that? Yeah, Abhi, can you I've seen that leak before. Do you think you can get me a what's it called? A link to that, like maybe on Discord? Because I've heard of that leak before, and I heard some people talking about it in the what's it called? The Nethercast Discord. And I'm totally against it because like I play Street Fighter 5, like Akuma is my main and shit. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's a reason why I always loved Mortal Kombat more than Street Fighter. It's more aggressive, it's more up close and personal, I'm not really the footsie type. So like I like running in with Scorpion, and if you try to run away from me, then I'm just gonna hellfire you. Like I love that stuff, I like my fights up close and personal. And it's like
Same.
if you're gonna change that up, then that would ruin everything that the trailer just showed.
That's what kind of concerned with the weapons.
Which I wanted to go back onto the trailer for a second. I didn't think about it until we were just talking about all this. Did y'all notice that there wasn't like a moment where anybody kind of like ran at each other? So that like I hope that's not like signifying that they're running back out.
Yeah, but
I don't think they need to include a foot of that.
I think a lot of people are overanalyzing it, and it's like kind of like X-Ray. Like I think X-Ray is just one of those things where it's like it doesn't have to be shown because we know it's coming back.
Yeah.
But
well, actually, no. There's a rumor that X-rays are getting like they're going to be a part of combos now, and they're getting replaced with like supers.
Yeah,
if they do that,
I talked about that.
That's like to me, that's like killing Mortal Kombat right there.
Okay, see,
Well, no, they're gonna be in
I
the
said
game just
that.
a part of combos now. Like, say, like
Wait,
you know, like how
part of
some
combos?
yeah, like you know how like some combos like would. I'm trying to think of some examples. Like some combos like might end like in some kind of grab animation or something like that.
Yeah.
Like with Raiden's one combo where like he hits you, pins you to the ground, then like shocks you across the screen.
Yeah,
I think like maybe like some combos would end with like a mini X-ray or something like that. So
Nah, that's
See,
too much dramatic when it
that's
just
different
works
from what I'm
for the
saying.
game.
yeah.
What I think they're gonna do is they're gonna take out X-rays and put, I think, just supers, right?
No,
they're not
yeah,
gonna
they
include
are
the
Yeah, no, that's I think that's pretty much confirmed.
yeah.
But no, what I'm in my video, the X-ray super move, I said something along the lines of I called them critical hits. And I believe what the leak said is crushing blows. Now, if you know me,
before
I
you
hate
end them,
leaks.
like when you're about to finish them off. That's what happens in cinematic.
So hey, hold up. What was I thinking of? Takeda. All right, say you do this big combo with Takeda and shit, and then you end the ender in a throw. So when you see his arm break,
So brutality in some way.
no, it will show like a mini X-ray of the bone breaking. Yeah. So kind of like if you go back and watch Mortal Kombat X's trailer, where Scorpion teleports and he kicks the ribs and the knee, basically that, but in real time.
Yeah.
Just that's how I'm envisioning crushing blows. Is like just basically just an in-game version of X-rays. Seeing the brutality of it, because they keep on going. They keep on going about this, gore tech and shit like this. I feel like that would be a part of the gore tech, is just,
But what
landing like an uppercut.
What if you land a super or X-ray and it finished the opponent off? That would include the new thing that you're talking about?
I'm not sure, actually. I think it would be
confusing.
only for combos. Like, that's because super moves are way different from X-rays. Like,
I think if they were gonna add super moves and like replace X-rays with that, it's like they're just getting too close to justice at this point. It's like you're adding gear, which is already like kind of fraying the established. Like they're two different franchises, right? You kind of want people to think totally different things. So gear is one thing. I can see them like making gear work, but as soon as you take out something like X-ray, which everybody loves, and replace it with super moves for a game like Mortal Kombat, it just seems weird. So I really hope that's not true.
I feel like they're still gonna incorporate X-rays in.
Yeah, I hear you.
Kind of like, you know what? This would actually be a similar system to Batman. If you think like, sometimes when you punch a dude in the head, you can see like an X-ray of like the dude's head.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's how they're gonna implement it, because they've already done it before.
What I feel like is gonna happen? Like I feel like, I don't know. You know how at the trailer, right, the Mortal Kombat 11 reveal trailer, where Raiden beats the shit out of
I think
Scorpion,
that's an
the
ultimate
first Scorpion.
brutality.
I think there was an article I saw, and I like the word they use, is ultra violence. It's a kind of like ending, kind of like a cinematic brutality, if you think of it, right? When you're hitting the opponent to the point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Die at the same time when doing a combo. Yeah, it's kind of like a ultimate brutality, pretty much, but more cinematic. So I feel like
I said that. What I was thinking about that is that, like, it's kind of on the lines of Killer Instinct, where basically all you have to do was do let's say for Scorpion, while you're doing a combo, do an input that's not a part of the special move, like or maybe press like down, back, X, and circle, those two buttons together, and it would activate a what's it called, a ultimate brutality. Something along the lines of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, I think it was GameStop. They have fatalities, or I think either it's in GameStop's webpage or it's a leak. but they have like a third section. They have fatalities, brutalities, and gore.
Yeah, because this is new gore finisher thing that they're going to
gore
add.
tech, yeah. Gore tech, yeah. So I think that's whatever that is, because the brutalities that we know of now are just, you know, enders or basically just super or special move enders.
Which I honestly like them, but I mean, like,
no, I love brutalities in Mortal Kombat X, but I think gore is basically just a rework of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3's brutality system.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was thinking.
You're gonna
where you press buttons and then it does more attacks and attacks and attacks?
Yeah, but instead of this time hitting them and them blowing up, it will be more so of like a ends with like a fatality kind of thing, like how Raiden ended with grabbing his head and blowing his head up after doing this brutal combo.
Yeah. Like again, I feel like it's gonna be more cinematic though.
Yeah,
kind of like an X-ray where it's close
up
definitely.
Like
not an in-game kind of like brutality where it's zoomed out and you just.
No, I get what you're saying.
It's like a 2D, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's more of the style of Killer Instinct. The more I think about it, it's in the style of that, like how they do it.
Either way, we're gonna find out
Thursday.
Soon enough.
Yeah, Thursday. Oh god, yeah, Thursday. Ooh, I'm so happy.
I'm gonna answer this one question that I see here. It says if Kato's son turns out not canon, do you think he'll be a DLC character? And which my answer to that is no. I feel like if they're gonna have Kano's son, it will be in game roster or next game. But what do you guys think?
I say no because it's really hard to do a new character like that. Like the only reason why Tremor and Scarlet were like playable was because they had a high request rate.
Because they were like actually in previous.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah,
yeah, because Scarlet, from what I remembered, is basically like Ermac.
Yep.
You know,
she was like a rumored Ermac. Yeah, I don't think she was real though. She was just a rumor. Yeah,
and then Tremor is just a cool concept that that was in a shitty game.
Tremor was in Special Forces, and he also was in Mortal Kombat 9 on the PSP or PS Vita, one of them.
Yeah,
no, PlayStation Vita. Yeah, because I have the.
But, pretty much what you guys said. It's kind of hard to push a character that like was in an ending in one game. You know, it's not even like some character that everyone's like, oh, he'd be cool. Like a niche character, sort of like No Face. He might be a bad example, but just someone like that that's like at least established, like in a real sense of somewhat, where it's like, hey, he could be made good. Where it's like Kano's son has like nothing. He's not even real.
Exactly. Right about now, he's just kind of like an imagination.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, if he's not coming now or next game, I don't think he's going to be DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Matt?
Now, I have a question for you guys. For Mortal Kombat X, the old character versus new characters, how do you think the new characters done? Was they very well presented?
Oh.
Do you think a lot of people like the new characters?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I say no to the Kano son because I feel like everybody just don't want to deal with new characters anymore.
Yeah, no, because the thing with Mortal
Kombat
Kombat X is Mortal Kombat X added so many new characters and there were so many other characters we wanted to be on the roster. And as far as your actual question on Aaron Black was probably the most popular new character.
Yes.
If I had to say. So him, Cassie, Kotal, Devora, Takeda were probably the most well received. Ferritor, Kung Jin, and Jackie.
In general, you think everybody liked the new Kombat Kids?
No, in general with the whole Kombat Kids, I think that people didn't like them just because seeing these characters beat up like people's favorites and classics was just like hard for some people to bear. But I mean,
so I feel like the same thing would happen with the Kano's son. They're not gonna want to see a new character.
Yeah,
they would like to prefer.
I mean, the whole kid thing is played out at this point. Like I said,
we got it.
That's what I feel like.
And honestly, that's what I'm saying because like some things are just beginning to become redundant. If they do the kid thing, played out. The time travel stuff, I already talked about in the last stream. I'm not necessarily a fan. I hope they do it right, but I feel like it's played out. We got enough time travel and stuff, in Mortal Kombat 9, so I feel like, if they're going to do this time bending thing, do it right and make sure that, it's not redundant or just like a duplicate of what happened in MK9. So as far as like the comeback kids, I know a lot of people talk about how they hate how they were, and most people will agree that Takeda is probably the best of the kids. So new characters, they did decent, I guess you can say, for MKX. So I don't know what to expect for Mortal Kombat 11, but I highly doubt we're going to get as many new characters on that scale. If anything, I feel like it would be more so with MK9, which MK9 we only got one new character, which was Scarlet. So so I'm guessing maybe 2-3 at the most for MK11.
Yeah, and hopefully that'll give them a chance to continue developing newer characters like Kotal and Devora.
Not just that, bring back 3D era characters and give them a chance.
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm
absolutely.
hoping for.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because like with the leak, we already have 2 new characters. We have Garrus, which God, I hope that's not his name, because like he's all like that. He already has a name of a South Park character. Like, come on, man, like Garrus. That just doesn't sound menacing. And then Chronica, like something that
sounds cool to me.
But that sounds like something that like a flavor of weed that fucking Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg made up, like Chronica, with a K though, with a K.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like she could have better names, but I think Chronica's okay. I can see.
No, Chronica is definitely cool. It's just that like I hope it's not said that way, because that's gonna
it's gonna be said that way.
Yeah, it's gonna be a stoner joke within Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah.
But
Chronica.
But yeah, so like so we already have 2 new characters. Most likely, I mean, Chronica is definitely a new character because of the But with Garrus, it's like 4 new characters maybe. That's about it. With this whole time bending stuff, maybe let's just get 4. That we don't need like 8 or 10 new characters that are just going to take up the roster.
Even with 4 new characters, I just hope that the roster is going to be a bigger roster than ever before, because
I hope it's 32.
Too much potential. I'm hoping. I said 32 as the default, but I'm hoping 34.
I'm already 36.
32 is more reasonable.
Well,
32 is more reasonable, but 34 is me pushing it.
See, I think there's going to be 12 DLC characters, and the reason for that is that how I see it is like, okay, I know a lot of people hate this, but Injustice 3 ain't coming until 2 years.
Yeah.
To fill that gap, you have 6 characters in year 1. They did shit when it came to Injustice DLC. They released them all in 1 year, and we all had to wait an extra year for any news whatsoever for
that's not
Mortal
true.
Kombat.
It wasn't all in one. Well, okay, 1 year's time limit. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. With
Combat Pack 2, it was like, they were all released by, at least by that, summer, we already knew that, Injustice 2 was coming out. So I think what they're going to do is that since they have a 2-year development cycle on each game, they're going to release these 6 characters in the span of 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Every 2 months, we're going to get a new character. Then after that, we're going to get an additional 6, because I think, let's see, how many characters did Injustice have? 9?
Yeah.
I think they're going to go for at least 10 to 12 DLC characters, maybe 4. Release it every 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw the comment in general on our Discord right now.
Where?
Oh, by the way, thanks, Griffin.
Yeah, hold on, where is it?
It's in our general.
Okay.
Oh, on Discord. Okay.
Hello, came here.
Yeah.
I just really enjoy your work, and I just want to say, thanks, man. Glad you're here, man.
But yeah, that's how I feel like DLC is gonna work, because I do not like Injustice 2's like DLC cycle. I love their DLC except for Raiden and Hellboy, but Turtles were pretty nice. I'm a huge Turtles fan, and they're my main. So
yeah, Well, I mean, the only thing I want to say is that I'm kind of still holding out hope for a Combat Pack 0, just because like Ed Boon has played around with the idea enough times on Twitter, and he's talked about how they've wanted to do it for Injustice. He talked about it, more about the idea of it. So it's just like, what are the possibilities that they try to pull a Smash Bros? Maybe bring back previous DLC characters and kind of just let people get into those characters in a new game. Because think about the possibilities that could open up. So I'm gonna leave it with that though, because I guess we've kind of dragged on far from the original topic.
That's the power of Mortal Kombat, man. Exactly. There's so much to friggin' talk about.
We definitely need to do a general, like, overall stream one day and just
absolutely.
But
definitely after Thursday.
That's going to go ahead and be it for now. Of course, you guys go check out all these other YouTubers' YouTube channels. Like, they're all great people, make great videos. I think you guys would definitely enjoy it. But that's going to be it for now. This is Legend X Ronin and Nickfamous and Survive and Mad. And we'll see you all later.
See ya.